Okay, hi. We've made our basic car. Now let's put the components together and build a real proper car and start getting it to do some interesting things. First of all, check out the things we discussed in the lectures. Here we go. I'll just show you. We've got a description of the car, what we wanted the car to do, and then I've written down here the classes, the different classes that might pop out. We might have a car, we might have a speedometer, we might have wheels, might have a sunroof, might have an engine, an accelerator, a brake. Anything else? No, they were all the things we thought about. And we decided eventually not to have a sunroof, and we could possibly decide not to have some of the other things too. We'll see how that goes. Now, if you remember, when we talked about it in class the first time, we started to talk about the sort of jobs of each of these classes, or each of these objects. Let's think about it. A car lets a driver open, close and inspect the sunroof. Yep, you can check if it's open or not. Lets the driver start or stop or inspect the engine. And by inspect the engine, I just meant you could listen to it and see if it was turning over or not. It makes a hum or something. So just check if it's running or not. You should be able to press the brake. You should be able to press the accelerator. You should be able to check the car's speed by looking at the speedo. I didn't write that in. Maybe I should put that in. Speed. All right, the speedometer, well, I don't think it really does anything, but if you ask it the speed of the car, it should tell you, so that's pretty simple. Wheels, they'll accept input from the engine, some sort of torque applied through the axle, I guess, and the brakes with some sort of resistive braking frictional force, and they'll report on their revolutions per minute when asked. And presumably the speedo is going to ask them how quickly they're turning. They're going to tell the speedo, and the speedo is going to be able to work out the speed of the car from that using complicated formulas involving pi. Let's keep going down. Engine. The engine is going to accept input from the accelerator and the off switch. There are sorts of controls of the engine, and it's going to talk to the wheel and make the wheel move, supply torque to the wheels. And it's also going to report on its on-off status when asked. Basically, that means it's going to make a little humming noise. In reality, in the real physical world, it would make a noise that we could listen to when we wanted. In our program, we'll just say, "Are you on?" and it'll say yes or no. The accelerator accepts input from the driver and passes that on to the engine. Doesn't seem to do much, just a pass-through sort of class. If it ends up really actually not adding any value and not having any special responsibilities, we'll skip it out and we'll let the driver directly talk to the engine. But perhaps we'll see that the accelerator has some duties of its own. And likewise, the brake is in the same category. It accepts input from the driver and seems to pass that on straight to the wheels. Okay, now we're going to code it up. Before we've coded it up, let me just show you some tests that I've written to test the sort of new functionality. Here are old tests. I noticed we put all our old tests in a main class. That's not so good. Main sort of sets the ball rolling, but it shouldn't be doing a lot of work. So these tests were, a basic test or something. I've highlighted them. I'm going to right-click on it. I'm going to say refactor, and I'm going to say extract method. And by that I mean, dear Eclipse, I really wish I'd put these in a separate function rather than splashing them in main. Could you please put them in another function for me and let main call that function? And what are we going to call that function? Maybe it was... what was it? Basic test, maybe. Not a very informative name. It was really testing the sunroof. Basic, sunroof test, and on-off test. We'll just call it basic test for now. Because that will probably do for our thing at the moment. Basic test gets called here, and it's created a basic test for us. Notice it's private. There's no reason for anyone in the outside world to know about it. It's just called by main. There's some funny indenting going on here. Let me just fix that up. Don't know what's going on. Copy and paste, and maybe the system... No, it didn't. It should just automatically re-indent it to the right spot. Yes, thank you. Okay, and then I wrote a new test down here. I called it test takeoff. Here's what we do. We're going to create a car called car120C, just to give it a different name to above. Above we called it bug. We're going to check that it's not running when we've created it. We're going to put the brakes on. We haven't turned the engine on yet, but we'll jam the brakes on full because this is a fun test. Then we turn on the engine and we check that we're not moving anywhere. We check the speed of the car. Then we're going to rev the engine. We're going to accelerate wildly, flatten the accelerator, but the brakes are still on, so we'll check that we're not moving. And now we're going to release the brakes, take our foot off the brake, and we're going to check that we are moving somewhere now. We've got a speed, positive speed. And then we're going to put on the brakes completely, utterly, not just brake slightly, but fully, and that will bring us to a screeching halt, and hopefully our speed will be 0. Oh, that'll be fun, won't it? Okay, so now we're going to implement these functions and start connecting the objects together. And because I want to do this as quickly as I can, I thought we could set ourselves a little time limit, and I've picked a song that goes for 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and that can be our timer. So our time starts now. 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go. All right, well, let's compile and see what the problems are. I guess we know already because we've got these little crosses here. The tests all passed. Why did the tests all pass despite our... Ah, I see. Because although this function has problems in it, we never actually call this function. So we'd better actually make our main function call our takeoff function. All right, now presumably we're going to have a little bit of a grumble here. Okay, various things need to be fixed. Let's go down and do them one at a time. We clearly don't have any of these functions implemented, so we'll ask Eclipse to put them in. Please put in break full. Please put in get speed. Please put in accelerate wildly. Giving all these, just sticking all these methods into car. Please give us the method foot off the brake. The driver's got so many functions at their disposal now. What a wonderful experience it would be to drive this car. And a function called slam on the brakes. Presumably we'll have some intermediate braking methods too, but we don't need them at the moment, so we won't put them in just yet. Alright, that's everything implemented. Now let's run the tests. Hello from car. Oh, run the test, not run the car. Alright, we've got a problem here in test car on line 52. Alright, everything's looking fine. We start the car, we create a car, it's not running, we put the brakes on full and turn it on, and speed 0. Looks probably speed's going to just return a default of 0. I haven't told it what to do, so I assume Eclipse has said just have it return 0 every time, so that's quite convenient. So we accidentally pass that test. Accelerate wildly, well, that does nothing, so we're still going to be still. But when we take the foot off the brake here, which presumably still does nothing at the moment because nothing's implemented, we now expect to be going quite fast. But look at this, it's not working. We're still going 0. So let's start putting the functionality in there. And that will be in our car. Okay, which functions are we going to do? Might as well do them in the order they're here. Brake full. So we're in the car. How are we going to brake full? I guess we're going to send a message to the brake. And let's just remind ourselves the names of our function. This.brake, accelerator. We just called them after their types, so that's easy enough to do. So we're going to say this.brake, brake full. Let's think. How are we going to communicate with the brake? Maybe we could say that the brake has say 10 different. It's an analog thing, isn't it? It can slide smoothly up and down, but let's say it's just got 10 positions. So, oh, I know. Let's just say we can give it a percentage of how. Oh no, let's just say 10 positions to start with. All right. So, to the brake, we'll call a method that